No, our farmers never protested when they were beaten. We take care of them. We do everything we can so they can farm peacefully and give their best. But elsewhere, that's not the case. But it's those countries that stand on platforms and call themselves lands of freedom. That's not true. They're all dictators. Their freedom is only in relation to Africa. So we need to put freedom into perspective. Here, we are freer than they are. Much freer. So,
behind the destabilization attempts you mentioned earlier, it is often said that the hands of certain neighboring countries are hidden behind them to call a spade a spade. A spade a spade, Benin, Ivory Coast. Have relations evolved with these neighboring countries? Are you ready for a de-escalation, and under what conditions, Comrade President?
That doesn't depend on us. They are the ones who started the hostility. Let me remind you of something. When we arrived, we had no problem with anyone. We communicated with everyone, we interacted with everyone, and so on. But one day, for example, I was sitting and the Minister of Defense told me that the Ivorians had sent a note to withdraw all their students from our schools. The academy, the PMK, the NSBA, you see. I said, but what's going on? And then they withdrew all their students, officers and non-commissioned officers and everyone. No explanation. I told him, well then, prepare for reciprocity so we can bring our children back, because we don't know what they have in mind or why they're doing this. That was the starting point, the first action taken by the Ivorians. We also brought our students back and let their students leave. And little by little, we started to experience acts of hostility towards us. No problem. We take Benin and others as examples. We didn't provoke anyone. We all saw when, once again, they tried to bring a war into our region. But who was at the forefront? President Ouattara came out saying he would send a battalion. He had everything prepared. We are still waiting for his battalion. The president of Benin said that force is needed. They will use force. They will go to war. We are waiting. We are ready to go to war as well. There can be no de-escalation as long as mindsets remain like this. If he is looking for trouble, he will find it. So it wasn't us who started it. If people aren't smart enough and still let the imperialists come and tell them, kill each other, black brothers, then so be it. If that's the solution to achieve independence, we are ready. But no one will enslave us again. We are ready for that. We are fighting. We are already fighting. Because terrorism is a manifestation of imperialism. So don't talk about de-escalation as long as their mentality hasn't changed. There are people, every month or every 2 months, they have to run to Paris, go take orders, and come back to implement them. They are not free. They are not free. We, on the other hand, no one tells us what to do. We govern according to our people, according to the needs of our people. Our people need water. We do everything we can to provide water. They must be self-sufficient, eating independently. We do everything to push ourselves forward for the sake of security. We fight for the sake of security. They need roads development. That's what we're fighting to achieve. But we don't go to someone else's place to take orders, like being told to give road contracts to this company or to give this or that to some company. They're actually slaves. And as long as they remain in that mindset, forget about de-escalation. On the contrary, things will only get worse. As long as they stay in that frame of mind. That's what I can say.
It's about human rights, Mr. President of the United States. The international organization has accused you of suppressing the independent press and civil society. Is there a place for human rights in Burkina Faso?
Human rights in Burkina Faso? What are human rights? Honestly, I don't know what they think. You know, no one is going to come here to fund people, indoctrinated people, to destroy our countries. That brings us nothing. Do you know how many NGOs there are in Burkina? Can you imagine? Do some research. It's not just hundreds, it's a lot more. I'm not going to give you any names. Do your own research. Look up each NGO. What do they actually do? Do you really believe it's humanitarian? So there are things like this that we fight against, and then they say we're fighting against human rights. Is that what human rights are? We are fighting against terrorism to secure our people. So we are giving our people the right to live. Isn't that the most fundamental right, the right to life? Aren't we fighting for human rights? We are fighting so that closed schools can reopen, so that children can go to school. Isn't the right to education a human right? Who is fighting for us? Who is helping us? The same people who cry out every day about human rights. None of them have given us a single cartridge to fight against the terrorism that kills our children, to fight against the terrorism that closes our schools, that destroys our schools. That means the terrorists are fighting against human rights, we are fighting for human rights, and they are the ones encouraging the terrorists. Who is fighting against human rights? They're the ones saying it. And I'm going to talk to you right now about some things happening in Europe and elsewhere. But it's over there that they're fighting against human rights. Otherwise, human rights exist here. And remember something, human rights come from Africa. It doesn't come from somewhere else. It comes from Africa and West Africa here. The first charters that spoke of human rights were here, in the AIS Confederation, more precisely in Mali.
The Charter of
Kurukafu, yes. So human rights were known by Africans. We were well organized, a well-structured society. Everyone had their rights, even women's rights. It is in Africa that women's rights existed. Elsewhere, they did not exist. And it's those people who can talk to us about women's rights or human rights. They don't know any rights. Who talks about human rights? Who has habitually bombed children? Who is bombing children everywhere, dropping bombs indiscriminately, killing children and so on? Is that what they call human rights? That's not what we do. We fight for the lives of our people. We protect them. Our soldiers die to protect them. We do everything we can to open our schools, to educate them. We do everything we can to support our farmers, to practice agriculture so that people have enough to eat. We do everything we can to dig wells so that people have access to clean water. Who is fighting against human rights? It's them. They have no respect for human rights.
and the village defense parties who have been accused of committing serious violations. Where are the long-promised investigations?
Those who say that the VDPs are accused of serious violations, what evidence have they presented? We ourselves, when we found VDPs involved in certain acts, they were put in prison. Those VDPs are in prison. They know where they are. And we have said, whoever, it's not someone else. Listen, we are responsible. We are adults. No one should see us as subhuman. We know what we are doing. And it's this mentality too that is dangerous. Because often some leaders in the West and all that see Africans as subhuman. And so they come here as if it's to teach us things. I told you that the right to life, it's us who teach that to the rest of the world. No one teaches us that. So it's true that there have been a few small problems with some people. VDP, there are some who have committed abuses and other things. They are in prison. There's no hesitation about that. Now all that they're saying, what proof have they provided?